Hello and welcome to our Channel 3 Super Sunday Sports Spectacular. Thanks for staying up with us. Glad you're here. I'm Mark Robbins. I'm going to be joined by Joe Zone and Unkwa Sonye in just a moment or so. We're going to take you through Selection Sunday and wrap up championship weekend in boys and girls high school basketball. 5 more champs today from Mohegan Sun Arena. We're going to begin, though, with Selection Sunday. And the UConn men and women both finding out where they're headed for their respective NCAA tournaments. For the women, well, they're going to be at home, and hopefully it's then back to the Pacific Northwest, just like last year. Here's a look at the bracket for the UConn men. They are in as the top overall seed in the tournament, and they're going to be in the East bracket and playing in Brooklyn, right here on Channel 3 against Stetson, Friday afternoon, 2:45, again, only here on WFSB Channel 3. Yale also in the East bracket, but a long ride for the Bulldogs to open up in Spokane, Washington, is the 13th seed in a matchup with Auburn, the 4th seed out of the SEC. We're going to see how far Yale can go. We're going to see how far how they got their spot in this tournament in just a few minutes. Now, for the UConn women, they're going to be the 3rd seed in Region 3, and that's going to be in Portland, Oregon. But first, they got to win 2 games in stores at Gampa Pavilion, like always, and they will start against the 14th seed Jackson State, champions of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Channel 3 Sports Director Joe Zone is joining us now live at UConn in stores right now. Joe, you know, it's every year we get ready for this. It's still exciting for the Huskies and the campus, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about how exciting it was, Mark. Well, at this location, about 5:45, big crowds showed up because inside the football building, outside the basketball building, they had a watch party. We were here watching as some fans, and it was invitation only, invited inside, and the players walked across the street from practice, walked into the building. We saw some of that, the mascot here, the band here. Very exciting to see what was going to happen with UConn. We knew they would be a 1 seed, but they turn out that they're the number 1 seed, and you know what? That's pretty much what they expected.
We already got the, played the whole year with the big target, but I think this time of year, once that selection show's over, everything is just meaningless now. It's matchups, it's who you're playing, it's win that next game. Everyone's just trying to survive.
Happy that March is here, and we have a chance to go and compete for another championship. And we had a really good matchup against a really good Stetson team that, great offensively, got a great point guard, and, they shoot the 3-ball really well, so I'm really excited for this matchup.
I think really our confidence level is way higher now, I feel like, just coming off a win and coming off, competing against some of the best teams in the country this past week. And then just knowing the momentum that we have from winning 3 games in a row, and I don't know, games previous as well before the Big East tournament. So I'm just really continuing the hot streak right now.
Okay. Well, I think we had a target on our back all year, being the reigning national champions. That leaves a mark, leaves a statement. So we had a target on our back all year.
The short, of course, road trip right down the street to Brooklyn, then maybe Boston. Not much is going to change, they say. They're going to keep everything tight, just like it's a regular NCAA tournament with long rides. This time it's going to be a short ride, Mark.
All right, Joe. So we've touched on the men just for a little bit. How about talking about the UConn women? A 3 seed in region number 3. Could get to Portland, Oregon if they win 2 games, starting with Jackson State. And if they win those 2, they very well could see a familiar foe when they go back out west, right?
Well, yeah, and again, the UConn women, this is what they are, a 3 seed, and they're not surprised by that. Remember how their season went, all right? They dominated the Big East. I mean, they won everything you could win in the Big East. Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Team of the Year. They won all of those things. Undefeated Team of the Year. But where were they having the problems this year? They had them against teams ranked in the top 25 out of conference. They lost all of those games. So, yeah, they're a number 3 seed and maybe not expected to go to the Final Four. Ask Gino.
Who's not expected? We're not expected? Does everybody here know that? That's standing here? Yeah, obviously, when you're the #1 seed, there's an awful lot that's expected of you. But I think, what's the difference between being a 2 seed or a 3 seed when you think about it? If you win, you get to play them anyway, if they win. And if you lose, it doesn't matter what seed you were. So we're just glad that we're in a situation where we feel like, given the circumstances that we operated under this year, for us to get a 3 seed, I think that's pretty remarkable.
Is there a feeling on the team that maybe as a 3 seed you're being underestimated a little bit?
Honestly, we don't really care about the number next to our name. We just want to play basketball regardless of our seed. We know that we're not picked to win it. We're not favored in any bracket really this year. So we know that, and we know we're sort of the underdog in the situation, but just sort of embracing it.
UConn's first game scheduled for Saturday, still waiting for times and TV. If they win, they'll play on Monday. Mark, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. The madness is really just beginning.